What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today is Friday, which means we got a whole bunch of new Dragon Ball Super trading cards to look at. They are, of course, coming from the Theme Booster 2, the World Martial Arts Tournament, and today it's green cards. Not those kind of green cards. Green trading cards. We've got a new Goku leader. We've got a fairly awkward combo between about 3 cards, which can work very nicely indeed. And we've got some cards that will make previous Goku much better. So starting off with a Son Goku leader card, the front is incredibly uninspiring. It's got 10,000 power. You draw a card when you attack a leader. You flip over 2 energy. And the card when you're at 4 or less. We've seen this so many times. I know I'm not the only one that's getting a bit like, come on, we can do better, at least in terms of imagination for the front of these cards. But when you do awaken, it gets a little bit more interesting. We got Stopping Power Son Goku, a 15,000 power card. Once per turn when you attack, draw a card and you gain 5,000 power. So that means you get 20,000 power. That sounds pretty good. And if you KO one of your opponent's battle cards, you get to switch to active. Now, both the autos are once per turn, so you can't draw another card and get another 5,000 power. But you could potentially take out 2 battle cards here, or take out a battle card and then go after your opponent's leader. Either way, being able to essentially have this twice during the turn, and drawing a card, and having 15,000 power followed by 20,000 power, doesn't sound too bad to me. Now, last week in our video, we looked at a whole bunch of pairs of cards, and today we've only got a couple of pairs, but they're kind of interesting. So we can start off with Fateful Reunion Son Goku. 20,000 power, 4 cost, 2 green, 0 plus 5,000 combo, all fairly standard. It's got double strike, which is kind of nice, always good to do 2 damage rather than 1. And the skill says when you play this card, if Fateful Reunion Chi-Chi is in play in your battle area, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, KO it, and this card gains up to 10,000 power. Okay, so it's only when you play it, it's not an every turn thing, but the first turn you play it, you get to take out your opponent's battle card, and then you've got 30,000 power. That sounds good to me. But if we bring in Fateful Reunion Chi-Chi, and you can see that the cards do again go together to form one picture, it's a 2 cost, little bit more reasonable, 10,000 power, 5,000 combo. It's got barrier, so it can't be chosen with your opponent's skills. And if Fateful Reunion Son Goku is in play in your battle area, choose this card and one of your Fateful Reunion Son Goku, and they both gain 10,000 power and you draw a card. This is not when you play it, this is essentially every turn. So this works as a nice little draw engine, drawing 1 card per turn, and it's essentially a 20,000 power 2 cost, just so long as you've got Fateful Reunion Son Goku in your battle area. That sounds kind of fun to me, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, if you put that all together, Fateful Reunion Son Goku, when it gets played, actually goes up to 40,000 power when you bring in its own skill, and that of Fateful Reunion Chi-Chi. Now, the other pair we see in this particular set is a Trusting Relationship. We got Trusting Relationship Kami, a 2 cost, 1 green, 5,000 combo, 10,000 power. It's got blocker, meaning you can pop it to rest mode and your opponent's attacking this instead of your other card. And it's got a permanent skill. If Trusting Relationship Popo is in your battle area, this card gains barrier and cannot be chosen by the skills of your opponent's cards. So it's got blocker and barrier for a 2 cost, that's not too bad. And then you got Trusting Relationship Popo. When you play it, you can choose up to 1 Trusting Relationship Kami from your deck and add it to your hand. So your 1 cost Popo here pops down, then you search out your Kami ready to use it next turn, or I suppose this turn if you've got the energy spare. And of course it thins your deck out a little bit. By grabbing that Kami out of your deck, you're more likely to draw into something else the next turn that you want, or it just gives you more options because you've got a larger hand size. And then we've got this weird kind of trio of cards. So we start off with Tien Shinhan Trading Moves. It's a 3 cost, 2 green, 5,000 combo, 15,000 power. It's got barrier, meaning it can't be chosen by the skills of your opponent's cards, which is nice. And it's got a once per turn skill. Choose 1 Mercenary Trading Moves in your battle area and KO it. If your leader card is a green World Tournament, switch this card to active mode, and for the duration of this turn, it gains 5,000 power and double strike, meaning it inflicts 2 damage instead of 1 when attacking. So you can attack normally to go into rest mode, and then you can get rid of a Mercenary Tao trading moves, assuming that your leader card is a green World Tournament, and then you get to go active and it gains 5,000 power and double strike, and 20,000 power double strike is a fair bit better than 15. So that's pretty gosh darn nice. So if we have a quick look at Mercenary Tao trading moves, now it is a 4 cost 2 green, so it's not the cheapest card ever, 5,000 combo, 20,000 power. It's got double strike just as a matter of course, and when you play, if your leader card is a green World Tournament and Tien Shinhan trading moves is in play in your battle area, your opponent chooses 3 cards from their hand and places them in the drop. That is pretty gosh darn nice as far as I'm concerned. Gets 3 cards out of your opponent's hand. Now it is when you play it, so you're talking a one-shot thing, but you get a decent attacker, 20,000 double strikes, nothing to sniff at. You get 3 cards out of your opponent's hand, and then when you're done with it, you can send it to your drop, and you get another attack with Tien Shinhan, after you've knocked him up to a 20,000 double strike, which incidentally enough is the same power and double strike as Mercenary Tao. But we've also got Best Buddy Chiaotzu, which comes in here as a single cost green card. When you combo with this card during your turn, choose up to 1 Tien Shinhan in your battle area and switch it to active, which means you get another go round with Tien Shinhan. Now, the order's important here, so you don't end up doing it in the wrong order and missing out. But you attack with Tien Shinhan, and admittedly, it's not the best card ever at first, but 15,000 is alright. Then you attack with your Mercenary Tao, 20,000 double strike. You can then get rid of it, KO it, so Tien Shinhan comes back as a 20,000 double strike, and then attack with Tien again. But then if you combo with Chiaotzu, then Tien Shinhan trading moves goes back to active mode and you get a 3rd go round with it. But you also still have the 20,000 power double strike, because when you got rid of Tao, that boosted Tien Shinhan for the turn. That is a fun little combo you're going to be able to play around with, ladies and gentlemen. And bearing in mind, Best Buddy Chiaotzu is a 1 cost 5,000 combo, but it sounds like it's worth the energy when it brings back a 20,000 double strike battle card. So that's a fun combo, but possibly the most exciting card revealed today is Feat Kamehameha. It's a single cost green extra card, and it reads, if your leader card is a green Son Goku, for the duration of the battle it gains 15,000 power and critical, meaning if you do damage to your opponent's leader, then the life goes into their drop rather than into their hand. They don't get that card advantage when you do damage. Well, that sounds quite good, and if we have a look at it with the Stopping Power Son Goku we looked at today, it's alright. You get a little bit of a boost. Now, bearing in mind the Stopping Power Son Goku, when it attacks, you draw a card and it goes up to 20, you then bring in Feat Kamehameha, and you're up to 35 and critical. That sounds pretty nice to me. But let's not pretend this is the only green Son Goku available. There are other Goku we can use instead. So we can go right back to the first expansion, Galactic Power, and we've got Super Saiyan God Son Goku, which, before and after Awakening, has double strike. Which means, alright, you're only boosting it up to 30, not 35, but you've now got a 30,000 power, critical, double strike, so you can use a 30,000 power to hopefully go for your opponent's combo. Then you get to do double damage, and it's critical, so they don't get the card advantage when you do it. That sounds like fun. Or we've got a couple of Universe 7. We've got Sharpened Power Son Goku, which after Awakening, or indeed before Awakening, when you attack, draw 1 card and it gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. And that is pre and post Awakening. So post Awakening here, you end up with a 20,000 power Goku, boosted up to 35 with critical if you use Feat Kamehameha, which sounds like a bit of fun. And the other Universe 7 Goku, the Explosive Power Son Goku, this is again pre and post awakening. Bond 1 pre-awakening, Bond 2 post-awakening, 5,000 power and double strike, pre-awakening if it attacks a leader, post-awakening just generally when you do the Bond 2. So you end up with potentially a 35,000 power double strike critical. Yeah, Feat Kamehameha looks very, very good. Honestly, I like it with stopping power Son Goku, but 35,000 critical is fine. But as we've just seen with some of the other Goku cards, we can do better. For a single cost extra card, I'm liking this quite a lot. Now there are a couple of other cards we need to have a quick look at, because it would be rude if we didn't have a look at them all. Although saying that, we do need to give some love to Trading Blows Son Goku here. Now at first glance, single cost, 5,000 combo, 5,000 power, yeah fine, that's all standard. When you play this card, if your leader card is World Tournament, not World Tournament Green, any World Tournament, and your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, they've got to choose one of them and place it in the drop area. And some people have been suggesting using it with Legendary Flute. Now I know Legendary Flute has to have a blue leader, but Trading Blows Son Goku just says World Tournament leader, not World Tournament Green. And then this allows you to take one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less and put it into their hand. And of course, that could then tip them to having 5 cards in hand, forcing them to drop one of them. That could be a fun little combo going along here. We've got Speed Attack Piccolo Jr., which is a 2-cost green, 15,000 power, 5,000 combo with critical. It's quite a nice attacker just in terms of little energy. 15,000 power critical for a 2-cost, not bad at all. We've got Double Impact Krillin, another 2-cost with only 10,000 power, 5,000 combo. But when you play it, you can choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or less and KO it, even if it's got barrier. So we ended up with lots of cards with barrier, now we're getting a bunch of cards that go around barrier. We've got Honed Moves Yamcha, which is a 3-cost, 2 green, 15,000 power, 5,000 combo. It's got critical, but then again, the Piccolo we just looked at had 15,000 power critical, and that was a 2-cost. But this also has a skill. When you play this card, you may choose 1 card from your life and add it to your hand. If you do so, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and places it in the drop. This is a very nice skill. First of all, it gets you closer to awakening, and we have seen there is a big trend in the Dragon Ball card game. People like to self-awaken as early as they can, a lot of the time. And it takes a card from your opponent's hand and drops it. That's probably why it's a 3-cost, not a 2-cost. And then we have Martial Daughter Chi-Chi, who's just your standard super combo. Now it is if you've got 5 life or less rather than 4, which is better than some, and your leader is a World Tournament of any colour. Draw 1 card and it's 10,000 combo for 0 energy. 10,000 combo for 0 and drawing a card is obviously awesome. It's a standard super combo card. We have them essentially for every colour and type and all of that. This one is your Green World Tournament. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all the new green cards that were revealed today. Some very nice ones indeed. And I, for one, think Feat Kamehameha could be a very fun card. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about these cards. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but remember the rule. Be nice. Also, make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel. Dragon Ball Super content is now going to be regular, and I've started covering the Transformers trading card game as well. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.